Welcome everybody to this episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with Damon. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, Damon Armstrong. How everybody doing today?
All right,
Good,
all
good.
right.
How you doing?
All right.
Jaquar,
I'm Uncle Spoke. Glad y'all here.
DJ,
I'm DJ. I'm back. I'm proud to be back, share with these brothers. Looking forward to it.
Keith.
Yes, sir. I'm doing good. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm back to learn some more things from you, brothers.
Hey, listen, and I'm sorry, guys. I meant to remind my brothers and you guys that we were going to do it that way because, I think it's a better impact when guys can hear you say your name and the young ladies can hear your name because you might have a fan club out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know.
off.
Look. Armstrong said something. They said his name, but I didn't know who it was attached to. Now they know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me do some housekeeping if I can. This is Strong Perspective Podcast. You know, we're 2 years strong in our situation, and we're slowly but surely building up a subscribership. Hey, sometimes the best things that occur are the ones when there's a slow boil. You know what I mean? So what I don't know about my brothers, but I temper my ambition so I don't get all caught up on why don't they want to listen to us? What's going on? See, I've never been that type of dude. And as long as I'm having fun, which I am, and enjoying the company, then we cool. But go to it. We're live every Friday on Facebook, our YouTube channel called Strong Perspective Podcast, and also on IG. All my friends, and I guess they call them friends on IG. I'm not sure what they call them. The people that I follow, my followers on IG, they get to see it once we're on. But like I said, go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. You know what I mean, and be looking for our different reels and posts throughout the week because we're gonna make sure that we showcase great comments from our guests and from us. You know what I mean? Because hell, when I say something clever, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want other people to be that. All right, well, Damon, how you doing today, brother?
Blessed, man. Had a good day. Sun was shining. Matter of fact, for the last 3-4 days. Well,
Mhm.
and just been enjoying life, man.
No doubt, no doubt.
I ain't mad with nobody, so I ain't got nothing to complain about.
That's
Not
real.
yet, huh?
That's real. Jaquar, what about yourself, sir?
Man, the day was uneventful, man. Pretty nice. Nothing I couldn't handle.
Okay, okay. Uh, DJ,
Yes, sir.
how about your day, sir?
It was super fantastic, except we ain't had too much sunshine. Matter of fact, we ain't had what down here one day out of the last 4 days we had sunshine. It been raining and a little misty and all, but
Yeah.
I still get out and get around, hit that gym a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And man, I just feel really great.
Okay. Okay. Keith, how about yourself, brother? How are you today?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I was impressed with myself today. I was looking for some lows, and then I thought about I said some on the truck was like an air leak. So I said, let me go see what I can do with this thing. So I went and got a fitting, and I put that fitting in, and the fitting was real simple. But what it was, getting the old one off was tough. So I come up with the bright idea was to cut each end of the hose and just slide what's left of the hose into the new fitting. And
Okay.
after I put it in, got it in there, I had a grin on my face just like I had just finished building the NASCAR. Man,
Just to let you know, Keith is, I guess, 6 months or so into owning his own rig. So he's talking about patting himself on the back because he's Michael Mechanic right now. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that thing was about the difficult level of putting a cuff link on your shirt.
Okay.
But I was excited about it though.
Ownership equals proficiency, though, man. You gotta, if you're gonna be responsible for, an entity, you gotta know the ins and outs, So
that's real.
Yeah.
congratulations, bro.
Well,
Yeah, and you can stand on there and say, "This mine. I built this."
yeah. See, I always wanted to be able to do that.
Yeah. Just to give a little bit of background, Jaquari and Damon and myself, we're brothers, you know what I mean? And, we hail from the state of Michigan, Detroit and Ypsilanti, Michigan, you know what I mean? And, I would like to say that we are well-traveled human beings and can immerse ourselves in any kind of situation and community. DJ is a Midwest kid, just like us. He's a
All
Chicago
day.
native.
Chirac, baby, Chirac.
Chicago native, you know what I mean? And Keith, he hails from North Carolina, where the three of us are right now. As a matter of fact, we work together at the Wake County Sheriff Department, and we are retirees, all three of us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, we've known each other for at least 25 years. So when I have these young men on, I really and truly enjoy it because I've enjoyed working with them all those years.
Man, you old, man. 25 years. God,
25 years, man. 25
we
years.
all old, I guess, but I'm old. Old as damn dirt, just dust.
I'm starting to realize my age, man. I'm 51 years old, and I didn't think it was gonna be like this, man. I really didn't. I thought at least my hair was still gonna be black.
Better go to Walmart and get some of that, dye.
DJ, I can't do it.
You can't do it.
No,
shave
man.
it like me, man. You have a peanut head like me. And shave that shit off. Shave it off, man.
Then I still gotta worry about my beard, man. So
Look here. Let me tell you something. I still have. I'm not ashamed to say I still have a little tinge of vanity. So I put a little bit of Beijing here.
Yeah, a little color.
You know what I'm saying?
A little color.
And I do that because for 22 years, we wasn't allowed any facial hair except for mustaches. That was it. And those were my prime years of growing the big, you know what I'm saying? Because before I moved down here, I was, working for the police department in Pittsburgh. I had a beard and I had a bald head. You know what I'm saying? And it was I was gonna say jet black, but really it is red black, brown black, brown black. That's mostly what black men have. Just to let you guys know, it's brown black.
Brown black. Okay.
Because I messed around, and I told my brothers this. I messed around and got jet black.
Italian black motherfucker.
Yeah, this shit turned green.
Look at them bombs, won't you?
You blew up in the bathroom trying to paint it on. Shit started fizzling and sizzling.
Let me tell you now, when I put it on, the process was smooth and easy, right? But when I put it on, I looked in the mirror. I was like, well, damn, I'm looking like Black Bart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was like, what in the world?
You look like a cowboy villain and shit.
Yeah. All I needed was the cowboy hat. So, it's a funny thing I tell my youngest son all the time. Learn from your mistake. I had to learn, so I went in there. I'm studying it now. I'm like, hold on, man. There's something going on. Let me get this right. But yo, hey, look, that's the thing. I've always reminded myself that really and truly, we never stop learning. See, you know, when I was a youngin, I always thought that we had a shelf life. We learn everything, and then we good.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mhm.
No, man. No.
Yeah.
It keeps going. It's an ongoing process.
Mhm.
You know. So
Better.
before we get into the topic, I want you guys to uh, do us a favor. You know, what I mean, just check your own temperature. So throughout the day today, what did you personally witness that you think you want to share with us? It could be anything.
For
Okay.
me, well, I came out that golfer. That golfer. Right
What
quick,
golf?
give y'all this. The dude Schaffler. So they had an accident where a dude got killed at the PGA golf thing this morning in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh
No, I
wow.
didn't know that, man.
Yeah, so the police was investigating that, and the dude who was a golfer went up in the median to go around the cop and the officer was hanging on, and they got hurt a little bit. So they arrested him and charged him and all of it. Should have. But the reason I say that because what if that had been a young black man ran over a police officer
Yeah,
in Louisville, Kentucky? Not that no matter where you're from, would it have been
yeah.
the same thing, or would it have been some shots fired?
I got what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I spent 20 years doing it. In today's era, I kind of ask myself, what would have happened? You know, young man was in his apartment in Florida, Air Force. He got killed for nothing. But I
Mm-hmm.
digress.
Man, oh yeah, your law enforcement, man, explain that to me, man. I mean, I watched the video.
Hold on.
My bad, Keith.
No, no,
Man,
we're
that
going.
just it struck me.
Let's get through this,
Just,
then we can come back. We can circle back to that. Okay.
I'm sweating already on that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Whew, man,
Keith, what about yourself, man? What you want to share?
You said something that I saw or
Yeah,
witnessed.
just throughout your day, man. You know what I'm saying?
What did I see?
You saw
Actually,
yourself fixing your truck? No.
yeah, that. But what I have seen actually, like at a truck stop today, and I was just sitting and observing afterwards. And what I have seen is people will be screwing up. How you screw up and then look at someone else like they wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, this like dude like caused a big mess. I mean, this dude was just driving through. He pulls out, and the guy had to slam on brakes for him, and then he looks at him and throw his hands up like, "What?" And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and the guy of course, just looks at him, and then he gives him the finger and back up and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, how can you be wrong and offended?
Yeah. How about it?
turn to road rage.
Yeah. And the stuff they had on the trucks it did not need to mix together. So if it would have bumped and something would have started, his boat would have started leaking, that would have not been a good situation.
Not a good day, huh?
Yeah. But other than that was pretty much it. No eye candy.
All right. Okay. Jaquari, what about yourself, bro?
Oh, I was in the house all day, man. So I didn't leave. I didn't really witness a lot, man. But I had a thought about something that happened to me a while back. So ironically enough, I wrote it down this morning. So I'm just gonna read it. Let's see. I seen a dude slip and fall so bad that I just wanted to leave. It was bad, bro. I mean, bad. I mean, it was the kind of bad that I didn't want to be around to have to explain. It was the kind of bad that if I helped him, he probably immediately would have suffered some other, calamity, right? So I just got the fuck out because there wasn't nothing I could do for him.
Damn, bro.
Because whatever karma he slipped in that day, he deserved that shit.
Damn.
I mean,
Wow.
if you ever watched Charlie Brown, you remember the sound he made when he went to kick the football.
Yeah.
And old girl,
Yeah.
that's the sound he made, man. So I just wasn't nothing I could do.
Would you say he felt so hard that it scared you? Like, yo, I
Yeah.
can't deal with it.
So you telling me? So you telling me?
Yeah.
You telling me that it's a possibility that he might have deserved that shit?
He had to.
Oh my God!
It looked like somebody wrote that shit. I was like, man, listen, somebody help him. As I left.
He needs some milk.
He do like your man that said that fell off them crates. When I came down. Ooh.
That must have been a terrible thing to witness, bro.
Yeah. I hope he all right.
If you fall so bad that where they question that it was karma, that's a
Yeah,
bad
you better
thought.
avoid. I'd be avoiding that cat, man. I don't want to walk around him.
That's what I was thinking, DJ. Like shit, he done brought something down on everybody.
Yeah.
We all got to pay for what he did, so I get the fuck out.
Going over that way.
You go to help and there's a banana peel up under your foot, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody falling in the same spot. Damon, what about you, brother?
You know what, man? I was watching my sports shows because I record them every day, and I usually go through them. And I go through them simply to look for the Detroit Lion news, man. I don't give a damn about the rest. And I wind up going through all of them, man, without a peep. But I was actually listening to these guys, man, when they was looking for content and something to talk about. Man, it's like if you were dealing with somebody on the street, would you actually sit down and listen to somebody have an opinion about somebody they don't know and be critical?
Yeah, we kind of do it every day, though, bro. For real.
You know what? Am I guilty of listening to it? Yeah, but do I actually do it in my everyday life? I don't.
Yeah,
I don't. But I understand that's their job, man. But it just struck me how I'm sitting up here going through like 3 different programs, listening to them, and I'm listening to them. I'm like, how the hell you know what this cat is feeling, man? You know, playing a professional sport. I mean, just trying to imagine the pressure of it. You know, and then you want to say, well, you know, he weak because if he don't show up and it's the playoffs and it's game 7, he done. He weak.
Yeah.
How you gonna make that determination about a man who did something that you wasn't able to do?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then you want to critique it. So, long story short, I sat around and I thought, am I gonna spend my days, man, listening to people critique people, or be about my life, man? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my grass need to be cut, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, at the end of the day, them athletes still won't get all that money anyway. They still won't get paid.
Let me ask you something on that y'all opinion, because you all went further athletically than I have. Where's the line drawn between critiquing someone's game, I mean the way they playing at that moment, and it becoming personal? How is it a way you can be critiquing someone's game and they take it personal, or you can critique their game and not be personal?
Me personally, my thing is, if you listen to the news, you're gonna take it personal. because there's gonna be
Okay.
somebody who won't like your performance, even if you had a great performance.
Right.
Because you know what the thing about it is people want to have opinions and they want people to listen. So
Mm-hmm.
they got some selfishness about them and maybe some jealousy. It's gonna be a hard critique. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're an athlete, if you're playing for the accolades, then you listen. If you're playing for the love and for your teammates, you ignore it. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I feel.
My thing is, if somebody had a bad game, from my own personal experience, I ain't do anything pro. From my own personal experience, man, I remember, man, at least 2 years in my college career, man, I played with like nagging injuries, man. I played with nagging
Mm-hmm.
injuries, man. I mean, I had to get taped. I had to do the whole thing. I had to get physical therapy. I had to, just to be in the game and play.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, man, people didn't know I was hurt. Only me and my sports trainer knew.
Mm-hmm.
And I played because of the love of the game. Sometimes I had good games, hurt, and sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I wasn't quick enough to move my feet, got in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But as I think about that, I'm like, how the hell if you never been in that situation, how the hell are you gonna critique it, man?
Right.
You know, how you gonna critique it? I mean, what are you gonna say? You know, you gonna say, man, well, people play hurt, dude. They had that conversation about basketball players playing in the NFL. Man, them cats play hurt, man. Come on, dog. With the
Yeah.
collisions and the stuff that they
Everybody
have,
hurt. Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And
Everybody's hurt. Yeah.
you imagine, man, how much ice, man, being used, man, and whirlpools and shit just
Yeah,
to play.
yeah.
Those
And
sports
then
pundits, man, they want to sell content.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right,
it.
and I had to I had to reel myself in because I got caught up in that. Man, you
Mm-hmm.
don't know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? That type
Mm-hmm.
of attitude.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I remember playing hurt when when we was down in Florida. I just got hurt in practice the week before we went. I'm playing on a sprained ankle, wrapped all the way to my knee, and I'm like, damn, this is my time to shine. I wanted to really enjoy this trip, but I had to power through it,
Right.
And at the time, we were ranked in the country, and in the damn paper, there was like Armstrong wasn't himself, Armstrong did this and did that, and nobody knew I was hurt. That I got hurt in practice because nobody
Mm-hmm.
asked me, and I'm limping. So I'm like, how the hell are you going to sit around and you don't know, you don't understand attrition, number one. And number two, do you have the heart enough to go out there, man, and just show up and be there? Anytime you play hurt, you playing for your teammates, man.
Yeah.
So
You playing
wouldn't
for
you
your
say
teammates.
wouldn't you say that was a different era? Like, let me ask you this, Damon. Would you let your son play hurt like you did back in the the 80s and 90s or 2000? Would you tell him, no, you hurt, you ain't going out there because you're your future? What would you do nowadays, today?
It depends on the injury. If it's going to
Okay,
cause extensive damages and stuff like that, no, I would tell him, no, man, you need to be smart.
I
that's
mean, because
fair.
you have to think about it, DJ. If it was a serious injury,
Yeah,
hell no, we wasn't going out there, man, because
yeah,
it didn't make sense.
yeah.
Not because of my future, because you're not able to do it. You feel what I'm saying?
But you did. You played at the University of Pittsburgh with your knee all screwed up, and you still went out there and
No,
played
no,
though.
no, no. Hold on. My knees was not screwed up, man. No, no. My knees didn't get screwed up.
What was it your injury though? The injury you had?
I ain't had no injuries, dog. I ain't
That
had
was
no injuries
Okay,
in college, man. This is
okay,
my
all of
injury.
that
My
was after.
injury.
All of that
okay,
was after.
Yeah. So
okay.
my injury. I remember this was my sophomore year, and my shoulder got dislocated a little bit, right out of the joint.
Okay.
And my man Scotty, this dude was bad, man. he would take my shoulder and he would move it a certain way and pop it back in joint, and then he'd, you know what I'm saying, Sergeant,
Right.
all that. If he didn't do that, I couldn't raise my arm up above my head. I couldn't do it.
But do they do that nowadays?
I mean, if you're talking
They
about
don't do-
professional, that's money.
Mhm.
That yes, they doing it.
Them guys don't play because of money. Because
That's what I'm saying. So do they pop bones back in now? They just shoot it up and say, go get it.
some of them do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of them do. You know what I mean? Ja'Quari, I want you to answer it. Then I want to circle back to the topic you guys were talking about earlier.
Well, I mean, the relationship between newscasters and professional athletes have always baffled me, man, because they, it's two entities that need each other.
Yep.
And you can always tell, from a sportscaster's point of view, man, who's a fan of who.
Mhm.
Especially the former professional athletes. We can have use Shaq as an example of what he said last week. He's a fan of dude. He respects his game, and I don't know if that necessarily has a place in this situation. But I mean, there's a symbiosis there, man, that I don't think at times newscasters respect.
Okay.
Because they try to stay on, they try to stay relevant. So they push some of them push the boundaries, man.
But that's the thing, though, man. Gossip entertains. I mean, I remember, there was a certain standard for men in this country, man. Where on the surface it was said that men don't gossip, but that we can't say that nowadays. And we all know that men have always gossiped just as much as women have.
Yeah.
But this is it could be looked at as a situation where men are just as messy, if not messier than women are.
We don't say anything till we're out of the situation, though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when these athletes start, because you got to think about it, starting with, I'm gonna go back as far as Bird and Magic.
Keith,
yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I got to walk that back because as I thought about it, it kind of made me sound like I said that women was messy. Now, that is not the message I'm trying to convey.
After the show,
DJ agreed with you.
I'm with you, bro. How are you?
I'm a translator. I'm a translator for everybody since I've known you the longest. Hey, man, I need some peace after this episode, so let me walk that on back.
Yo, DJ retired. Shit.
Yeah.
Hey, I just think, man. I just think that it's a stretch, man, to judge a man's character by his injury.
No doubt. Hey, DJ.
Okay. Yes, sir.
You and Damon was talking about something. I don't think I saw. What was it?
You talking about the golfing thing?
Not the golfing thing. The thing you said afterwards.
About a if it was
somebody in their house or something like that.
Yeah, but it was connected to the golfing situation. What if the golfer would have been?
Oh
yeah.
When the young kid, right quick, the young kid, Air Force man.
Air Force, that's what it was.
Living off base housing at the Air Force because there was not enough housing on the base. They had some of the troops living out in the town, and somebody said they heard some screaming and fighting going on in the apartment. These deputies show up and they sent them to the wrong house. So the deputy, young cop, gets to the door and bangs on it. The kid is up there, Fortson is up there with his music on. All they hear is banging. He's FaceTiming, his lady friend, opens the door. He's got a 9mm in his hand, but it's pointing down. And the cop says, "Let me see you, bow." He didn't say, "Let me see you." Open the door and said, "Drop." And then boom, was shot 6 times in the chest. Well, now it comes out that the cop went to the wrong house, man, wrong apartment. I mean, the dude was on the phone talking to his lady, man, and she witnessed it all on FaceTime.
But here's the thing. here's the thing that I don't know what the initial call was about. I didn't get that part of it. But when my man was banging on the door, he would step to the side and wasn't really saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? So all that young brother was hearing somebody banging on his door.
Correct.
The reason why he grabbed his hammer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think the man called out the sheriff department. Was it sheriff?
Yeah. Well, he stepped off to the side, which is standard procedure because you want to be on the threshold of the door. Yeah, because the door you want to avoid, Keith. You know this. You want to avoid that funnel, so you step off to the side, and then as soon as he opens the door, it's like a second or two, which is not a lot of time to adjust.
And that's the thing, though.
Yes, that's why I need clarification.
It's two approaches to have it. Just like you said, DJ, to be on the side of the door, right? But if you don't know where you're coming from, you're coming into, you step off the porch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You step off the porch and give yourself room to be able to react either way. You see what I'm saying? Because just like I said, either way, DJ's way or you know what I mean? But see, me personally, I used to step off the porch and to the side. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I give that person time to see me, even though that's kind of sketchy in itself. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But also giving myself enough reaction time. So if I see a gun, now I'm pulling like, hey, put your hands up, the sheriff department, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's so many different ways, but if you know you're going to, see, I pulled my weapon countless times on someone with the intent to fire it if they did something to, participate that. You know what I'm saying? Right? But I don't know if I waited too long. See, this is the thing right here. I don't know if I waited too long or I waited long enough to be able to react. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, I don't know, man. It's hard because the three of us have been in that countless times. You know what I mean? And and I can almost guarantee all three of us have a different view of it.
Correct.
So can I ask you guys a question real quick? Well, it's a two-part question actually. Number one, is it strange for a person to be armed in their home? And number two, had he answered the door armed and holstered, do you think it would have been the same reaction?
Wow. So
that's a good question.
So for me, I think also that door had a peephole. Now, whether the kid looked through it, probably didn't, because he would have saw the deputy there. He would have. But for me, when he opened that door up, he said he would have stepped off and did his thing. For me, if my weapon is in my hand, I've already got the advantage. But my maturity says, well, I don't have to shoot yet unless you raise that weapon up. That's when age comes in there, and time and service, doing the job versus just boom, boom. That's just how I feel. Because we want to have the advantage so that we can avoid that situation. Now, if he's got his weapon in his holster, then you can do what you want to do in your house. You can even come to the door with your weapon in your hand as long as you ain't pointing it. Exactly. But again, that's maturity, man. It's like everyday life. You can be a cookie maker. You're going to do it a certain way versus somebody new coming in and got flour flying everything nowhere. I hate to be facetious like that, but that was a maturity thing. You got to allow a person a second to digress what's going on, to digest what's going on, because that's a very dangerous thing, man. And that kid was probably so scared when he saw that law enforcement officer. He was like, oh, shit. Because he put his other hand up like this, like, oh, man. And then it happened. But it was instantaneous.
Keith?
Go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, that's everything you said was right there. With me, what was always effective was communication. Make sure you use your words the entire time. So even
I
if he
like
does
that.
come to that door,
Yeah.
what you think he's coming to the door? So I'm gonna make the assumption. Okay, did he ask who's at the door? Who
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Now, if I've said who I am and he comes to the door and he's
You got the
got
gun
it in his
right.
hand, yeah, I'm gonna put my hand on mine and say, hey, it's just me. I came here for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you put that away? That type of thing. Communication is strong.
It
But
is.
if he opened the door and you see him and then you draw, well, hell, he trying to live too. You know, ain't no telling
Yeah.
what might happen.
Yeah.
So, communications is a big thing. And as DJ was saying, the experience. A lot of times, a lot of guys uh, it was a female I trained, and what was she? It was two things in one day. One was a traffic stop, but the other time it was an alarm. And we were in this store. The owner was there. He said he heard noises in the back. So I saw she was afraid. I said, "Stay here with the flashlight." I said, "I'm gonna go down the hallway with the flashlight." I went down there and I searched. Everything was fine. And when I come back out, she was panicking. All she saw was the flashlight moving. And I told her, I said, "Everything's clear." But she was so hyped. I peeked and went back in the room. I said, "Kim, put the pistol up. Put the pistol up." She
Yeah.
standing down there with a gun in her hand, pointed down the hallway.
Yeah.
Oh, and for y'all sitting here judging, it's nothing wrong with being scared or afraid, because I
Oh,
done
no,
been
no,
afraid
no.
Yeah,
before.
That's
My
natural,
ass
man.
been shook up before. Trust
it
me.
keeps you
But
alive.
if
Yeah,
somebody tell you they ain't scared, they're a damn lie. And they don't need to be a deputy or a police officer if you don't never be
yeah.
afraid.
I
They
mean,
need
because
another line of work.
that is human nature to be, because what it does is make you aware of the situation.
Yeah,
You're hyper aware of the situation. You know?
My major thing was that y'all cleared it up for me. The way he was knocking on the door, he would knock on the door and then stand to the side.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you're a homeowner, you don't know who the hell that is, man. Because my man
Right.
wasn't announcing himself as a police officer until the end.
Well,
You couldn't hear it because of the
all right.
music.
Well, did he ask? Did he ask who was at the door? Somebody brought that up earlier. Did the homeowner like, hey, who is it? You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because and that this is not trying to lay the blame on him. No, I'm saying I'm wondering what brought them to that point. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like it's a wasted lives. It's wasting two lives, brother. Especially the young man. You know what I'm
Yeah, because
saying?
he ain't had a chance. He got drilled. As soon as the door opened, he got drilled. And the gun was pointed to the ground. You know what I'm saying? My man gave it to him.
But
You
that's his
know, I just
reaction
I just
too.
wanted to know the protocol of the whole situation, man, because you know, uh, should you guys should they announce themselves at the first knock?
Always, you always
Yeah,
Always.
announce yourself.
Yeah,
Always.
When you
my
knock
man
on the
did.
door,
You
you
know,
announce yourself.
man, I don't think the officer announced himself, man, until the end.
No, he did. He said sheriff's office open the door and for the jump.
He
He
said it
did.
from the jump.
Yep, he said if you go back and play, he said sheriff's office
Well,
open the
see,
door.
that goes to show you right there. I was biased in the whole situation
Yeah.
because of the circumstances and what happened at the end. But you know, it was tragic. Either way, it was tragic.
For sure.
I think a lot of times, just from my experience, I don't know about you guys, but my experience, depending on, because it's always enlightening when you get the whole recording.
Mm.
Because when they
mm-hmm.
put it on the net, sometimes, like in the past, when they put it on the internet, it's chopped and screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But you guys know just how things can escalate so fast, and you're doing everything you can not for it to escalate.
Well, let's speak to the elephant in the room, man. What if that was a white guy behind the door and he
Shit,
opened
a
it?
gun, a gun. Shit. It
Listen,
don't matter. It don't
let
matter.
me,
Yeah,
let me tell you something. Now, this is my honest opinion, and this just my honest opinion, and it has nothing to do with any fact of it. I've seen in my years of service in those situations, they give the white guy the benefit of the doubt. It's
Facts.
not racial. It's not
Facts.
racial. It's
Yeah.
routine because you see someone same color skin, unless you have some kind of familiarity with that person, and you say, "Hey, man," I mean, because look, how many times did you seen where I've been on the scene and the black person acting up, and you go in and you know everybody go in and handle them, calm down, even if they're the victim, calm down. Now, this is not saying there's some things wrong. Our job is to control the scene, is what we do. So when we asking you to do something, what you need to do is do it. You feel what I'm saying? That's what you need to do. I don't care how mad you are. You take a heartbeat. You take a heartbeat and listen until you get your chance to say your side. You know what I mean? So I was also seeing, now I'm an equal opportunity guy. When it's time to do the job, I don't care what color skin you have. If you break the law, I have certain steps I have to take before I listen to your side. It's for everybody's safety. You feel what I'm saying? So you get mad because I'm separating you from the group, or you feel like I'm not listening or anything like that. I'm coming in here blind and I need you to comply until it's time, right? I've been to a call before, checking in with somebody. It was a white couple, right? The wife called and said that a black man broke into the house and stabbed my husband, right? Now I get there on the call, the man, he's stabbed, right? And he's trying to deal with the situation, right? You know, he's trying to live. So he can't really say anything to me. I'm sitting here talking to him, and then he looks at me and he's looking at his wife, and his wife talking to the main guy. Like, I don't know what happened. They came in, blah, blah, blah. And he looked at me and said, she did it. Right? So I stood up. And the thing about it is, I went and told the primary deputy, like, hey man, he's saying that she did it. He didn't believe me. He's still on the radio giving out the description. I said, hey, she is, you know, I'm the master deputy on the scene.
Right.
I'm like, hey, he said she did it. You know what I'm saying? But you still on here. You got tunnel hearing and tunnel vision because the woman is giving him what's up, Mitch? The woman is giving him her story because what she think is her husband loved her enough.
He gonna go along with it.
He's gonna go along with it.
Yep.
Because basically what happened was she caught him cheating, so she stabbed him with one of those steak knives. You know the little jagged steak knives?
Oh
That
my
had to
Lord.
be painful, man. That had to be painful as hell.
I would rather get shot than stabbed by one
Listen,
of them. Oh my
When she
God.
pulls out, it's gonna bring all kind of guts,
look,
and everything else.
and he was a great deputy, right? But he's only listening to a black man try to kick the door in and blah, blah, blah. Feel me? So
Yeah.
I started putting him in handcuffs. He said, man, what are you doing? I said, go talk to your victim, man. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
Happens.
he comes back red-faced. Now, I'm not trying to, this is why I'm not gonna say no name. I'm not trying to embarrass this man, but the thing about it is we always give the fairer skin the benefit of the doubt when they try to lie to us. You know what I'm saying? And that's not no racial shit. It's just the simple fact that that's how it is sometimes. If you don't approach your job, and guys, I need y'all to comment on this, Keith and DJ. If you don't approach your job with a professional way of doing things, you're going to get caught out there because we're conditioned to think certain ways, man. It's just what it is.
Hey, Keith, what if he said, before they go, what if he said, hey, man, that bitch stabbed me, call the ambulance, man.
Case closed.
Oh,
That's
no.
case closed.
Listen,
It
it was terrified.
with a steak
And
knife?
the thing
That's
about
just
it, the thing about
crazy.
it was
Yeah.
I was tripping because he was doing this and he whispered it to me.
Yeah,
And
like
I'm looking at him like, why are you whispering this, man? She
Yeah.
just stabbed your ass. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was-
Yeah.
But
because he see your man believing her.
Well, he didn't want Mama to go to jail that night. He did, but he didn't.
yeah. But she
yeah, he
went
didn't
to
want to get
jail.
away with it.
She went to
He
jail, man.
he
And
got the little.
matter of fact, I took over as primary because of it. Because I'm like, bro, you know, and you know, he was a newer deputy. I said, look, man, understand something. There's not a competition. We depend on each other out here. If I tell you something, and I'm cursing at him, it's just me and him. I said, if I tell your dumb ass something, you better believe it because I depend on you to save my life if there's a situation coming. Don't you dare sit here like you in a damn movie. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden you in Law and Order and it just falls into place. We looking for a black male. Motherfucker, he just, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And,
too.
and that's just one thing. I've never had anything else other than that. But guys, if you can speak on it real quick, then we'll move
It
on.
was funny. It was funny how he went to the black man for hey, man, that bitch stabbed me, man. Call the ambulance.
So
man.
I think that you can come, and I had to check myself. You can, to ad lib onto what Keith was saying, you can become desensitized. It can happen, like because you're dealing with pretty much the same crime element in the same crime area, and so you're dealing with a lot of low-level crimes, and it depends on what hue of the skin tone you dealing with the most. And so a lot of times, literally, it can just become factual to you that, yeah, he is guilty. He done something wrong, or she done something wrong. So you have to check yourself on that. Whereas, let's just put it out there. Others, white, whatever, you think, well, man, subconsciously, maybe this person is telling the truth. And that shit, everybody, they lie their ass off, man. It don't matter what color you are. They just lie, especially when it comes to going to jail.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I swear to Jesus. And got gunpowder all in their hands and everything, man. Hey, can I test your hands? No, man. No. I plead the fifth. Shut up.
Keith.
Yeah. My thing with that is anytime I would tell new officers when they were out in the field, coming out in the field, I would tell them and say, look, man, keep in mind, first of all, that what they tell you over the radio, the dispatcher got that from some person in crisis.
Yeah.
So they giving you an extreme version of something. So they telling you that some dude come in, and he got a cannon and he's out, he's gonna kill everybody, and it's gonna be extreme.
Mm-hmm.
I said, number two, if you get there, like in that situation, if it's a victim there and he can speak, that's what I'm listening to.
It is.
What happened to you? Who did this?
Yeah.
If somebody's over there, a female wife or whoever, especially them, and they in it, and they keep telling me what happened, okay, you a suspect already.
Yeah.
You talking too much because he can talk for himself.
But
So
to add to what he just said, the difference is if me and Keith Barnes or me and Keith Armstrong, just two of us go, we automatically know. Like if Keith is talking to this dude, I got her like, yo, lady, sit over here and be quiet. Or I got her, I'll usher her away because experience does that. I'm trying to get what she got to say. And I need him to concentrate on all that's happening.
exactly.
At the same time, I want to make sure the scene is secure.
Yeah.
But time does that.
Yeah.
To make it to
Yeah,
make
the way you do that, that was my pet peeve. If it's two people, if say if Keith or DJ or both of them are in there and they're talking to someone, I'm gonna talk to the other person with their back. I want all the victims
Yeah.
back to each other.
yeah.
That way,
And
I
if
can
you
see
if,
both officers and them.
yeah,
Hmm
and if you can do it in a distance, have them talk to you in a normal voice, because a
Exactly.
lot of times they key up their answers off of what they hear from everybody else.
Exactly.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
They play you, boy.
I'm gonna tell you, me personally, I've been blamed. I had a kid. No, I had an adult sexual assault. Right? Me and Keith dealt with him 2 years in a row. Sexual assault. Right? Same kind of situation.
hmm
I arrested him. He said to me, all you do is go out here and arrest the black kids. And I got pissed because really and truly what I said to him was, look, I only arrest criminals. That's it. If you break the law, I don't care what color you are, this is what I'm going to deal with. And me personally, I'll keep it a buck. I always want to give the black person the benefit. You know why? Because we never get it. You feel what I'm saying? And I know you've seen me, heard me say this to many people, Keith.
hmm
Hey man, listen, I'm gonna listen to your story, but this is this is what's being told to me. And if I get one more confirmation that you did it, you're going to jail. I used to tell them they're
hmm
going to jail. It's no
Yeah.
surprise. You know what I mean?
hmm
You know, because me personally, I understood people got two choices before you put the handcuffs on: not to fight and to fight. And I'm usually prepared for both. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. You know, I think like these two gentlemen right here, great deputies, man, with different styles, right? DJ, no nonsense. But see, that comes from being a gunnery sergeant. No nonsense. This is what he do. You know what I'm saying? Keith, stern, but he pays attention to everything. You feel what I mean? And say, and that's the thing about it is different ways of doing the thing, but your goal is always to do what? To
Uh-huh.
exercise the law. That's it.
Serve and protect.
That's it. And the one thing I learned, and I'm gonna leave it alone, is I used to tell people all the time, and I would have to explain to them what I meant, but I used to tell them all the time, hey man, I'm not taking this personal. If I'm putting these handcuffs on here, it's not because I don't like you. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's because of what you did.
You know,
So to wrap it up, man, what's your opinion, man, on that situation with the airman who got shot?
Tragic, man.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
Tragic.
yeah.
I can't, I mean, me personally, now y'all heard how I would do it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because going to the scene and what dispatch told me, of course, I'm going to think the worst because I always think the worst until I have to ratchet it down. You got to think the worst of the situation until you see signs that it's not as bad as you say it is. Because you don't want to be surprised by anything. You know what I mean? So that's why I said earlier I would step off the porch to be able to see everything and to be able to move. You know what I mean?
hmm
I'm 6'9". So me standing by the doorway, that gives me a small window to act. You know what I mean? And that's my own personal style, off the porch and to the side. Because you know, we had a lot of, because we worked the county, so we had a lot of double wides. And them
hmm
porches on them double wides,
Small.
small as hell.
hmm
Whew.
You know, small as hell.
and to add to that, the thing what was frustrating about double wise, like when you stand to the side, the typical house door opens inside.
Opens
So you want to
inside.
stand to the side the knob is on.
Yep.
So because it's been with this one guy, he had a sword and he just cracked the door, stuck the blade of the sword out, stabbed off, and closed the
Damn.
door back and locked it. So you stand to the
Or
side of the door, and but it's, with double wides, most of those doors open out,
Mm-hmm.
or a lot of them in the Wake County area. That way they would open the door, would open out. So if you on the knob side, as soon as the door crack, I mean they looking you right in the face. But if you move to the other side, you behind the door, you're blindsided.
Yeah.
So that makes that kind of
You're
tough.
you're you're announcing yourself
the whole time.
the
Exactly.
whole time.
Because if
Yeah.
you ain't, and really was you really ain't lucky is if a 125-pound pit bull come running out that door,
Yeah.
just big
Exactly.
enough, just big enough to get through there, and you got to
Yeah.
make a split second. Do I shoot this dog, or I just stick my arm out there and get that damn thing gnawed on, or do you run to your car, jump on top of it, and hope he don't bite you in your ass? It's a lot. That's why I say people tell you they're in a scary situation. For me, to address that shooting, I'm gonna go off to the side and I'm going to have my weapon hand as the dominant thing so that when he or she opens that door, they'll see that. I can tell with that gun being down, okay, young man, hey, I'm going to be cussing and saying some things I can't say on this podcast to get him. If you're going to drop that gun, just drop it on the ground. Don't lay it, drop it.
Drop
I'm
it.
going to have my pistol up and I'll be like, yo, man, it's going to happen. You got 30 seconds, 15 is gone. That's just me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to go home just like this is your home. Now, then we'll go through all the did you hear me's and screaming and all that. Let's get me to get control of this because actually that situation wasn't nothing. Should have never happened.
Mm.
Again, that's fear and experience caused that
Exactly.
situation.
Exactly.
Fear. Go ahead,
Oh,
Keith.
okay. Let that branched off into something very interesting, and I appreciate your answers and also your questions, Damon. You know what I mean? It was a good segment, brother. So let's just stay here a little bit. Uh, let's talk about workplace relationships. Okay. And the question is, do you have or had a good workplace relationship with your coworkers? And also, how far would you go out on the limb for your coworker?
Wow.
Jaquari, I'm gonna let you go first because you and I discussed this yesterday.
Yeah. Damn, I don't even remember what I said, Keith.
Well, you know what you said today.
Yeah, but
Slip and fall, baby. Slip and fall.
yeah. As far
Yeah.
as workplace relationships go, I've been on my current job. I've been in my current position for like 13 years now, and it's ebbed and flowed, man. I mean, there's been times where I've had strong bonds with people, and there's times when I don't be on shift and don't talk to anybody much, and it's not because I'm standoffish or anything like that. I just try to really compartmentalize my life in that in such a way. You know, I've always had small circles though. I mean, a I work with a lot of good people, and just because I don't necessarily spend a lot of time talking to them, chewing the fat or whatever, doesn't mean I have any animosity or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's uh it's just business. You know what I mean? And people in this field, people don't always conduct themselves, in the way that I do. I mean, people, guys, 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 and might have questions about my approach to certain situations or whatever. But it's maturity, it's time, it's experience. Because rarely have I faced, well, rarely have we faced, things that are new in that situation. So I've already got a pattern of how I'm going to go about things. When I come on the scene, if there's a disturbance or whatever, I know what I'm going to do. Just like you guys know what you're going to do. But it hasn't been tricky navigating that, but in a small facility, no matter what job you work in a small place, he said, she said, gossip, that shit can get out of hand fast. It can get out of hand fast, and I've been lucky enough to have been able to avoid that kind of thing, throughout my whole career.
Okay. Okay.
That's good.
Keith.
Yes. I feel like, yeah, I've had a good work relationship pretty much everywhere I went with everyone, because I understood it to be a work relationship, and I didn't try to force anything. So I'm cordial to you. I'm respectful to everyone, and I'm there to do the job. And if for somehow we hit it off and you let it be more personal, then I'm all for it. That's good, but I don't push. Uh, the last part of that, what was the last part of that question again?
Would you go out on a limb for a
Oh
coworker?
yeah, yes, I would, and I have several times. Uh, it's been reciprocated sometimes. Uh, I don't feel like as many. I haven't received it, so in my belief, I don't think many of them would go out on the limb for me. Uh, they'll look out for me, but out on the limb to where they gonna lose some hair off their ass too. No, they're not gonna do that. And I took some hits, I took some punishments and things, and because somebody else actually was the cause of what went on. And since I've been retired, I've noticed I've I called one time and I asked, this was just for me, could you get my information? I want to make sure my taxes, my vehicles and everything's in order. I ain't got it yet.
Yeah.
I ain't got a computer, or I don't have access to that. I said, you a whole deputy and you ain't got access to somebody's driver license and property, your car information. That's all right, then, Miss. Well, man, hopefully you get promoted, man. You can get some of that information like
Damn.
that. They used to give it to us soon as we got certified. But stuff, I mean, and that's something simple. And you and DJ, well, all of you have experienced this. You own your job and you just trying to get through the day. You're not doing anything extra, but you'll go out on a limb and do some extra stuff, the extra mile to get the job done. And then when it comes back around and you want something simple, uh, you can't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it be from the same people that just you went all out for. But amazingly, the person that would come through for me is the one I know was being an asshole most of the time. That dude would be like, "Come on, man, I get it." You know.
Yeah. No doubt. Damon.
I think it all depends on the work environment, man, and whatever company you're working for, business, whatever you're working for, what type of atmosphere are they providing? Is it cutthroat? Is it snitching involved? Is it backstabbing and all that stuff? Then you got to fend for yourself, man. It's about surviving the situation. You know what I'm saying? I worked jobs, man, when it was all about backstabbing. You know,
Wow.
people would snitch on you if you didn't prepare it. You know, when I was working with kids, if you didn't prepare certain things the right way, or you didn't write certain things in the notes for the next group to come in and read, people would put you on the spot for that and be like, "Hey man, your you need to step this up, you need to step that up, or whatever." You know, they don't even mention the fact that you had to take a kid down and then had to process them and all that shit, and then by the time they come in, you writing your notes and the notes ain't there. And it was like, well, what's the problem? It's like, you know what the deal is, man. But the administration, that I was working with, they didn't care about that. You know what I'm saying? The only thing they cared about was, doing your job, And
Wow.
the people who saw the leg up saw an advantage in in your direction and to make you look bad. So, like I said, it all depends on the atmosphere, man, that the company provides for you to be able to work together. If it's cutthroat, then it's going to be cutthroat, and you can't depend on nobody in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Uh,
Timely fashion is relative, bro. I mean, for real, for
Yeah.
real. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, me myself personally, when it comes to documentation, report writing, or whatever, man, I give myself a 24-hour turnaround, no matter what the situation is. So whatever time I have to take away, you know, outside of the incident to make sure all my ducks are in a row, that's what I'm gonna do.
Always. You always
That's
have to
wise.
take care of your business.
I
DJ.
agree. Yes. So, newsflash. I guess y'all, I'm an alpha male, but I'm also introverted, if I may say. And I think y'all can stay with me on that one. So I'm the type of individual, if you tell me one time, I don't like being told twice. So I'm gonna make sure I get it done as fast as I can, uh, as professional as I can. I'm gonna make a note of it because to me, I'm not better than anybody. But I just could not stand somebody telling me something that I knew I had as much education, as much experience, or whatever it may be. But you're in charge of me, but then you're gonna come back and tell me I could have done it this way. Well, hell, why you didn't tell me that from the damn beginning? If you give me a task, an assignment to get done, and you leave it up to me, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it well, my way or our way. We all got a way to do things. I just don't have to come back and tell me two or three times. And so that's just me. Now, as far as me covering for somebody, nah, I'm gonna set the example. If you watch how I do my chores and my tasks and assignments, then that's good enough. But that's just it. Watch me, you be better, or not ask me. But for me to take a hit for another dude because he did something wrong, nah. I would tell you, hey, the lieutenant called me, the sergeant called me, asked me about such and such. You need to call them and tell them what happened so I don't have to. I'm not losing my job. I'm not losing my respect in this department to lie and cheat and steal and compromise. Because if I'm wrong, I'm going to be the first to say it. I'll take it. So, no, I'm not covering up for anybody. I'm not taking no bullets for anybody. Well, God forbid. And that's just me. Simple.
I think that me personally, I've always spoke up for the long run because I don't want no. I've never wanted, and both of you guys know the kind of person I was, and my brothers too. I want everything to go smoothly, but if it's some rough road, I'm going to address the rough road.
That's right.
This is what it is, right? Now, have I took up for somebody? I spoke up for them, but I never covered up for them
Hmm.
because first and foremost, you understand that this job is not corporate America. Technically, every time we put the uniform on is life and death. I say technically because some young men and women will never have to get any strife and will retire from any department, and that's a
Hmm.
blessing on them. You feel what I'm saying? But my thing is, if you're wrong, you're wrong. I've had good friends in which I said to them, hey, I'm not doing that. Or I'll pull up doing if I'm there and they're about to make a mistake or they're making a mistake, I'm pulling them like, yo, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the limb I'm gonna go out on. I've always checked them before they made the mistake or in the middle of it. Like, yo, let me talk to you. You feel what I'm saying? Because I always looked at the job as life and death. Just me. And I'm not being over dramatic when I say it. It's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't let the small stuff get in the way. If it's people that I don't like, I won't talk to them. You feel what I'm saying? I won't
Mm-hmm.
talk to them. I told Jaquari yesterday, I said, well, look, I've always given, and DJ and you and Keith know this, I always given somebody one time, whether I liked you or not. Now, if I liked you, I'll give you maybe one or two other more times. But one time, like, hey, you're about to walk into that burning building. I don't know why you don't see the smoke. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to tell you. You see what I'm saying? And it's not my responsibility to do it, but I take the responsibility because of the job that we three did.
You're here to
You feel
protect
what I'm
each.
saying?
You're here to protect each other, man. I mean,
That's
yeah,
it.
I could describe several accounts, man, where staff going back and forth with our charges or whatever, and yeah, I put them like, hey, man, go get some air, man. I'll take care of it. It didn't necessarily alleviate the stress of the situation, but it got that person away from the situation long enough to where they could clear their head and not
Right.
put themselves in jeopardy. If somebody who's new on the job recognizes in me that I'm about to goddamn spiral, pull me,
Mm.
pull me, man. I'm shit. I'm man enough to accept it
Mm-hmm.
because you protecting everybody now, and that's our function here.
It's real. I mean,
But cops have the biggest egos, man. It ain't always like on our end of it. They got some of the biggest egos, man, you could imagine, and don't like to be corrected, don't like to be told they're wrong. It's just the way it is, man. It's just for
but you
some
want to
reason.
know something funny though, DJ? It tells you about what kind of people they are.
True.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
And I'm not, and this is slightly an exaggeration. It tells you how small a character they have if you are in the middle and you try to help them not make a mistake and they take that as an offense. That just tell you what kind of character they have. This is it. And it's new. It's human nature more than anything. And I think I was blessed. I think the three of us was blessed to retire from where we retired from, man. That does not
Ooh.
go unnoticed to me when I wake up every single day because we know too many people who died while we were working.
Mm-hmm.
Too many
Yeah.
that we knew personally. So yeah, not to get on those soapbox, but it was just a funny thing. Me and Jaquari was talking about it yesterday, as far as workplace etiquette, how you feel about your coworkers, you know what I mean, and what you were willing to do for your coworkers. So I wanted to ask you guys that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But
I
look,
think
let's
it's difficult. I think it's difficult, man. Given the situation, I think it's difficult when the person is in there in the throes of their situation. Try to de-escalate them, man. That's a hard task, man. So that's why it takes special people to be in that line of work, man.
well, first of all, if you de-escalate, you have to, and that's a great point. But see, the thing about it, as far as the de-escalation, it's equal parts. Even if you vexed, even if you this way, You gotta understand if the man or woman you working with is saying, "Yo, bring your ass back here," and it's not in you to see it, you're right. You don't belong there.
And it's never been a situation where it would even look like I was reprimanding anybody. I never do that. Never do that. I stand these my it's one team, one fight. So I might get screamed on. Okay, all right. I might have to deal with a little aggression. Okay, all right. We'll talk about that later. But in the meantime, you know, while we're surrounded in this space filled with fucking liability, you need to take a beat, brother.
Yeah.
That's leadership, man, to be able to do that, though.
Yeah.
And so many people can't accept that. They don't have leadership qualities or capabilities.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, for you to do that, man, and take charge of that situation like that and try to help somebody and try to get them out of getting themselves hung out there, yeah, that should be something special. But a lot of people don't know how to take that because it depends on how they're raised and where they come from. It's like, man, who that dude think he is or who she thinks she is? But actually, you're trying to help them get out of some shit. They see it as, man, you're telling me what to do, man. You equal to me, man. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And you got that going on.
And that ain't nothing but insecurity and fear.
But I can't even relegate it to that, man, because it's a lot of people who really don't understand what triggers them nowadays. A lot of older people don't understand what triggers them nowadays. You deal with difficult situations, and as I said before, the difficult situations are usually the same situations, just with different, with different people. But there's no telling when you could, be addressing something, man, and something about this person, press that button.
But let me ask you this right quick, Bo. Let's say you're in a situation, you and another officer in your facility, right? They do something seriously crazy. It's probably happened before to you. They do something really, really crazy, and you know they did it. You tell them, yo, man, you need to tell the truth because you know they're gonna pull us in there. You get pulled in, and your supervisor say, did such and such do that? And then you thinking, damn, my job's on the line or my name is on the line. What are you gonna do? What do you do?
I got to tell them what happened. I mean, it's for me. It's not about the job. It's my name, man. I mean, it's I feel like, I've established, a name in my space.
Because the youngsters call it snitching, but we older. We don't know. We don't know how to lie, compromise, and cheat. They say we snitching.
But they don't understand it. Even though the street code is always been fucked up and ridiculous or whatever, it had caveats. I mean, we didn't. I mean, they don't consider regular people calling the police. They consider that snitching, and I'm like, well, no, that's not how I was raised.
I like that.
Regular people ain't got regular people that ain't got no skin in your game.
No,
regular people are truly invested in in living peacefully in their community. You don't necessarily have that notion. Okay, being a thug, being a criminal, whatever, it was kind of put in the box to where that shit was a job. It was a job, and it had certain standards or whatever. Funnily enough to say, but they don't. I mean, everything with them is extreme. Nobody can call the police. Nobody can even question how they make their moves in the community. And I'm like, well, no. I mean, that just tells me that unfortunately, you don't have a lot of strong figures in your community.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all a story, man. It was the time my mama, me and her was riding down the street. She pulled up to the cats who was out there doing dirt, and she was like, "If y'all don't leave now, I'm calling the police."
Wow. She
And
actually did that? She actually did that?
yeah.
Wow.
And we pulled up to my aunt's house, and when me and her walk in, I said, "Hey, ma, I'll be back in a minute." I said, "I'll be back in a minute." No, you don't need to go down there and talk to them. I said, "Man, I'm just going to, I saw a couple of friends that go down there and holler at them right quick." I run down there, I be like, "Now listen here, man. Y'all know that's my mama, right? We can take it there, or you can leave it alone. It's up to you,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm gonna do." You know what I'm saying? I don't even want you talking about her. Matter of fact, when she stopped and talked to you, you didn't hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? All right. I said, all right. Now y'all know what I'm gonna do, man. If it go any further than this, and I run back to my house. I said, Mama, you can't do that, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I don't give a damn about none of that. I'm gonna say what I say and this and that. I was like, okay. Then I know what role I gotta take.
Yeah.
I think that now that we kind of shifted a little bit, it goes into the next topic. Um, if you believe in this certain thing, me and you, DJ, we're part of the baby boomers generation, right?
Yep.
Keith, Jaquari, and Damon, your Generation X. I said if you believe in those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing I understand is both generations, and this leads into the question, and tell me what's your impression about it. Both generations always exhibited because it was put in us. High self-esteem and enhanced racial pride. High self-esteem and enhanced racial pride. I'm gonna let that sink in. Say it a third time, just to spark that memory of it, because we've been prone to the watered down version of shit. But it's high self-esteem, right? And enhanced racial pride. And what that means to me, and this is what I want you guys to comment on it. What it means to me is understanding. First of all, understanding our plight and how strong we had to be to become successful, strong and resilient, right? Understanding that we were part of a Black community. We wasn't part of which is portrayed nowadays because it's all we get to see because it's commercialized now. We wasn't part of a criminalized community.
That's right.
They want to think of it like they want to put us in that box, and they try to put us in that box when we were kids, but they couldn't because we understood who we were. And over the years, because of the different things that went on in this country, it became watered down because the fallacy of we've been accepted into another community, right? Because that's what's going on. That's what has gone on. Is we had, hey, y'all don't have to worry about looking behind your back anymore. Mobs of us, when we get drunk, we want to ride in our pickup trucks and come into your neighborhoods and find the weakest one and jump on. Y'all don't have to worry about that no more because that's against the law now. You see what I'm saying? And safety to me, perceived safety to me, kind of started to water down our enhanced racial pride because inadvertently we felt like we've been accepted because of some of the fear. We still, people still fear the police, but they don't fear the mob. And I can tell that you guys know what I'm talking about, where we knew there was mobs going around after black folks.
Key.
So that's how that's what I think about it when I hear that. Keith, what do you think?
Uh, you hit on it. A lot of I totally agree. I agree with most of what with all of what you said. But this is what I truly believe. Yes, short answer, yes. We do have high esteem. The majority of us do. We love our people and we have pride in our people. But it's a little different now due to, I think, a combination of Stockholm syndrome and a lack of them not knowing who we are and how great we are, how strong we are, all the things they read about in the history books and all of that. We survived it. Our folks, they survived it and took the licks so we could be where we are now, living under the illusion that we made it.
So
And
called.
yeah. And before, like with our parents and their parents, the esteem was really high or a lot higher because we knew we needed each other just for survival. Uh, the bartering system, we looked out for each other on a more personal level because we knew we were all we had. Unless you were just unfortunate that someone would show you some sense of fairness or empathy or whatever you want to call it. So I know now with some of us, our esteem appears to be higher because of our financial status or the appearance that we have. It seems that we're doing a little better. I got leather furniture now. Uh, you know, I got a bar in my house with 2 bottles of liquor in it behind it. So I can look down. I'm feeling higher about myself because I'm comparing it to you. I'm
Mm,
not comparing it to everybody. I'm looking, okay, everybody around me, I got a fence. I'm the only one got a fence. I'm the only one got a dog nobody can pronounce the name of that I carry around in my pocketbook, stuff like that. So that gives them it makes their esteem high. It don't mean shit at the end of the day. But so I don't know, to make I'm throwing it out there like this because I'm just kind of giving you things that I actually see, and and it really gets my attention, and I don't understand. I try to figure out how they got to that mindset, but the part that really digs in for me uh, is the way we can all say we have high self-esteem, but where's the source of the esteem coming from? Are you comparing your esteem based off of what I have? You comparing it to me? Or is your self-esteem high because of us as a people? Mine is because us as a people. So
okay.
my esteem, I'm hype off of what happens in your day. You come tell me, like when you open up and ask everybody how they were doing and everything, how was their day? And you telling me you had a great day. How I feel about you, that brightens my day. If my day is crappy, I'm like, well, hell, I'm glad somebody's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me bask in his good day. Let me let me bandwagon on that and be like, hey, okay, yeah, we had a good day.
How about it? How about it?
So
Damon.
that's all I got on it.
Damon.
My thing is this, man, and that was a great response, Keith. You know, my thing is this: do we have that high self-esteem? We absolutely do. You know what I'm saying? We have a track record and we have legislation put in place because of our efforts and struggles and all that stuff. I think, man, that we listen to the wrong voices. You know what I'm saying? You know, they have what they call them industry plants and stuff like that. People that's there that's all about the bag and all that stuff. It really doesn't represent the whole community. It really doesn't. You know what I'm saying? We do know the struggle. We do understand that. Most of us have some idea of it, but we're not mature enough to appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So it takes it's a maturation process. It takes a little time for, like I'm part of Gen X. For me, I don't like the labels anyway, but for me, what's most important is I know for a fact that there are people out there that speak that thinks and speaks just like I do, but we don't have the voice, man, or we don't have the vehicles to make our voice heard more than whatever that they're trying to prop up and be out there. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, if you look at your surroundings, you know there are good people out there, and you feel comfortable with your future. But at the same time, you disillusioned by who's really being heard in real time. And when you really think about it, you thinking to yourself, they on some clown shit or some dumb shit right now, but eventually they're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm of the understanding that eventually you're gonna get it. You're gonna understand that struggle that you're going through, that your ancestors went through also. You know what I'm saying? Example, Candace Owens, man. This woman, she did what she did, and people are saying that she can't come back to the community. There are some idiots that's sitting out there saying, "Man, that's what she can come back," and some of the things she was saying was right. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of us understand the damages that she caused. You know what I'm saying? They understand the damages that she caused, and she got to live in that. She got to stew in that for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Do I want to ostracize her forever? No. But I wanted to stew in that shit. You know, I think, man, that we are in good shape, but the apparatus in place is going to try to make us look like we're not in good shape. And we just have to be smart enough to overcome that bullshit and realize that that's not what's really happening, man. You know, it's not really happening. If a black man gets shot just by answering his door, and people say, well, that's just routine and whatever, and this should have happened and that shouldn't happen. But then you go into college campuses and somebody say from the river to the sea, and they say, well, that's anti-Semitism. It's like, okay, so words in that situation mean something, but just answering the door in this community is something totally different, and it can cause your life. You know what I'm saying? I think we as black people understand the difference, man. And
Correct.
who's going to be down for us? You know what I'm saying? We value that black man's life, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through the process of what was right or wrong, but at the end of the day, if that police officer was justified in the situation, we still value his life because it was the wrong door.
Yeah.
Then it was the wrong door, and we as the people that we are understand that in that split second, just because of the color of his skin, it's going to be what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? So we have to defend our we have to stand behind ourselves, understanding that we're not gonna get supported just on verbal threats. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna get that type of support. So we gotta stand, 10 toes deep on our side, knowing that it only takes one small thing for us to lose our lives. And it's not words and propaganda, it's action, man. is people actually putting in the work saying, hey man, this guy's a threat, so I need to act in this way. And like DJ said, in maturity, you understand the situation, and you could de-escalate it, or it could have been a different outcome. We're gonna always be on that side where it's always gonna be a different outcome, man. You know, and ignore the foolishness. And what I mean by the foolishness is those people who all about the bag and who spreading the negativity and all the bullshit, just to, thinking they're gonna survive the situation. Eventually, it's gonna come at your door, man. Eventually, as possible. You feel what I'm saying? It's gonna come to your door eventually. I don't care how rich you are, as Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying? You name it. So we are always under a constant threat, and we have to recognize that and realize that we got to have self-esteem. We cannot allow people to look at us as less than who we believe we are. And that's where our esteem comes. You know what I'm saying? From our experience. If that makes any sense.
Okay. DJ.
So I'm gonna blow y'all mind. Barack Obama, 8 years, President of the United States of America. That's high self-esteem for that man to be an example, to be a role model. We got 2 African Americans on the Supreme Court in 2 complete different spectrums. Ketanji Brown and Clarence Thomas. Whether you like him or not, it's a whole different mantra. Waymakers. For me, I'm looking at this deal from the prism of all these years I've been blessed to be on this earth. I'm, like most Black folks, being taught to hope and pray that certain individual becomes the president or the governor, because he gonna make it better for our people, to keep us held up, to keep us in the know, to keep us wealthy or homeowners, jobs. We're gonna get ahead. Why is that? Why do we have to continuously have to wait as Black folks for somebody to save us, to keep us like in the front, to keep us relevant? You look at the U.S. Senate, man. Right now, they got 100 freaking U.S. senators, and if I'm not mistaken, there's one Black person out of 100. I might be wrong, and one biracial. So, and I'm saying to myself, wow, how many years, how long are we gonna have to go before we're so-called equal? We homeowners, we hold our jobs down, we raise our kids or have raised our kids, raised our grandbabies, get all the things that we were taught as little kids. Come in before it get dark. Damn it, get your ass in the house, boy. Get to school, pass your test. Keep yourself lifted. Don't be a nothing, be somebody. And then, like Damon just said, man, can you imagine that one time you let your guard down, something happens, and in the neighborhood, your name can be nothing because you did one thing wrong, or maybe you were accused of doing something wrong. So I think for me, it's inside. It's what's inside. What have you established, the pattern in your life frame, your lifetime, to hold you accountable, to hold you above all others? Man, self-esteem is a dogged word. It really is. Because you can look at that thing 2 or 3 different ways. But to have high caliber and high content, it takes a constant learning, looking in the mirror at yourself, divesting and saying to yourself, am I doing the things right that I'm supposed to do? What better yet, ask yourself how people see you. What do they think about me? Do you care? Some people say, I don't care what such and such think about me. Well, yeah, you do. Because you're being judged by your next door neighbors. You're being judged by your brothers and sisters. You might not say it. They might not say it. But like you said, we are all being judged and graded all the time by one way or another. How do we get through it? How do we survive? How do we continue to survive? And it's so stressful. And I say it because I'm just going to say it. As an African-American man, a black man, a Negro, it's hard for us out here in these streets because you got some folks that's looking for anything they can to find something wrong with you. No matter what you do, 2 cars, 2 trucks, 6 dogs, yard look clean, they're going to find something wrong with you. When does it end? Does it ever end? For me, I think it's never going to end. I think we're going to fight until the day we put it in the dirt. Just like we fought coming in this world, kicking and screaming, and we're going to fight going out. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to stop. If I got to make you mad at me or so-called jealousy and I live next door because I cut my grass every week, and you don't like it, well, then the hell with you. Because I've done mine. I'm going to be the best example. I'm going to hold myself up, have my highest self-esteem for me, because it gets me through one situation to another. That's it.
Okay. Jaquari.
I was heavy. I was real heavy.
Yeah, it was.
Good opinions, gentlemen. Good opinions. But I'm gonna piggyback off of what DJ was saying, man. For me, it's hard for me to disseminate when it comes to the importance of a person's self-esteem in regard, in regards to their blackness. You know what I mean? Because for me, if you can if you can encourage a young person to have a high self-esteem and possibly give them some tools, to do that, then they're gonna walk into every room with their head held high, and they're not going to approach situations from a deficit, which is what I believe we've kind of conditioned our young folks to do. Anytime they don't get what they want, anytime they fail at something, they're looking for the racial aspect of it. And I'm not saying that it doesn't exist in that situation. What I'm saying is, okay, eventually you're gonna have enough doors slammed in your face where you understand that I want to be here, okay, but I'm being denied a space. So what do? Do I quit or do I create my own space?
That's right.
I mean, it's all, for me. It's all about building, man. I in my job, when I'm conversing with young people, period, I talk about us as a community, black people as a community, man, outside of February, because that's something that we always are. We're always black, but that's just me. I enjoy our history. As dark as it's been at times, I think it's rich, and anybody can learn a lot from our experience. But you can't expect a young person to just dive into that situation without the reinforcement of a high self-esteem, because situationally, man, our lives are set up to where we got shit stacked against us. And as I said before, man, you need to walk through the door on the first day with your head held high and your back straight, and willing to convey that it don't matter what you think you're going to put me through. I'm going to find success in this situation, regardless of how you view me. But as far as like the young people I'm around, man, we don't really have a lot of conversations, generated from their point of view about our history and about our community or whatever in a positive sense. It's always about, the 2-3 acres they spent most of their time in,
Yep.
it's tricky. It's been tricky for me, man. Because I have books that I'll loan out about different things. You run into Muslims in this line of work, or young guys who claim to be Muslims, or claim to be involved in Islam or whatever, but they don't know anything about it. So me, as a person who likes information, okay, you have this interest. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to loan you this book with an expectation that you are to return this book to me in the same condition that I loaned it out to you, because that's how important this information is. That's how I set that standard about that
Mhm.
subject. Okay, these things are precious to me, and I'm sharing it with you in the hopes that it'll someday become precious to you. So I mean, as people from, what is it, Generation X, and hold on, wait a second, people from Generation X and baby boomers, how much are we as elders and parents, how much are we having those conversations with our youth? You know, that's where the pride for the black community comes. And that's it.
Okay.
Can I just, well, I just wanted to ask y'all opinion of something. This in the same context of what we're talking about. This, but this bothers me, I guess, to an extent, about people. Some of us that we are part of and appear to embrace our people in the community when it benefits them, uh, when they need sympathy or empathy. I put it that way: sympathize, empathize. And when Damon was speaking earlier, and he mentioned Candace, it popped in my head. And when times are good, they have no time for us. Don't acknowledge us. Don't really want to be included with us in conversations. But as soon as times get rough for them, hey, brother, with the fist up and all this stuff. And I guess in the way I rationalize it, so I exactly the way I rationalize it, I guess that's a self healing process of some type for them, that and that keeps me from taking it personally.
I mean,
Uh,
but you know what though, Keith? It might be is what they see their masters do, because their masters always come to the black community after raw dogging us and begging for forgiveness.
well,
Let
Oh,
me
thank
ask
you
you
for
a question, man.
thank you for your
Do you
votes.
do
Yeah.
you do you really think that these people who are on that level, who do those type of things, against black people, do you really think that they are serving their master's will, or do you think that they think they more smarter than the average person, man?
that's what I
I'm
think.
getting the bag, and I found a lane to get the bag, so I'm gonna do that until the well runs dry. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? You just think
it's
you're
about the
smarter than the
same,
next
though,
person,
man. Ain't it about the
huh?
same? Ain't they both? They both are
Well,
intertwined.
the masters could take advantage of it or whatever, but that person is like, I don't really care, man. I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That-
I
And
But
I,
and I
but
found an avenue to get it. So
I, I,
okay,
I think it might start out like that in the beginning, but then because when you find success, I don't think you're in a position where you realize that there's a master. Sometimes, I mean, people are especially black people are under the delusion that they did it by themselves. Now,
right.
when the master
yeah,
comes along, I mean, that's when they
and jump on the bandwagon.
when they find themselves humble.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it, right, and I'm not choosing sides when I say this. I say this in the simple fact that you it is a lost identity when you see these people who want to be famous, who have a platform, right? And when I say lost identity, I'm not saying, oh, they're against black. No, they don't have enough self-esteem to see that they're saying the wrong thing. They're giving out the wrong thing. No matter how many people jump on their back and say you're wrong, you're going to find a way, especially when it's your self-esteem, you're going to find a way to say, I'm right about this.
Yeah, because look at you. Look at my money, my bank account and yours. You can't tell
Yeah.
me shit.
I mean, somebody mentioned Puffy earlier, right?
Oh
And,
wow. Yeah.
this dude, and this is the thing, you hear me say, the people that I talk to about it is, you got people coming out of the woodwork talking about, oh, he made me and I'm talking about the men. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse,
Mhm.
but now I'm upset about it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're
Because
right.
they want to be famous. Does that justify what this predator, this evil predator is doing? No. You feel what I'm saying?
They want to get paid
Yeah.
eventually.
And then I see on social media where the young lady who sued him, right? They
Mm-hmm.
showed video.
He
Like,
drug her ass all over the place.
yeah, slammed her down, kicking her, dragging her through a hotel. He got a towel on, dragging her through a hotel. See, this is why his company settled, because
Mm-hmm.
of that kind of evidence. You feel what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, using Malcolm X's and the old school analogy, his chickens came home to roost because he's an evil man.
Right.
You feel me? I don't know shit about him. I'm not making no judgments, but the stuff that he's done
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
that we see, you know what I mean? I love Bill Cosby, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if Bill Cosby admitted drugging women, yeah, I don't give a shit if it's the 70s, right? If he drugged the women and they didn't know about it, now that's wrong.
His ass should be in prison. He a criminal.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
all. It's simple.
That's
You say
wrong.
if they don't know about it. What if they did know about it?
They knew about it. G. That's the thing about it is
If they knew about it,
he was charged by the ones who say they didn't know nothing about it. Other
if
ones
they,
like, yo, I took it willingly.
yeah, they was just getting high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the difference. I believe you just getting high.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. Look,
My go ahead, Keith.
no, it's just, I'm thinking about him. Then I'm thinking about Michael Vick, right? I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna get this question out here. Then we're gonna finish up with the question that I'm about to ask. Michael Vick. Everybody demonized this man because of dog fighting, right? But Michael Vick went to jail because he thought, because he was the face of the NFL, he thought his lawyer, his high-paid lawyer, can get him off of anything. So he didn't really go to jail for dog fighting. He went to jail for lying to the feds. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm
No.
saying to you? That's why he went to jail,
Yeah.
right?
Gambling.
And they sent him to jail to humble him. How many? Hey, DJ Keith,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
point of reference. How many people have done jail time getting caught out there, even though dog fighting is a felony now? How many people have done federal prison time for that?
None.
None. It's a misdemeanor.
They
Even in Virginia,
humbled,
when he got caught, it was a misdemeanor.
they humbled that man.
I always
That's what
thought,
they
look,
did.
I always thought it was $1 million ring because
No, man.
yeah, I mean, for real, I mean, because
No,
I mean, and I love dogs, man. I love dogs, man. I do, and but
no. But
but
hold on, Jaquan. Let me just finish this real quick. I saw him, and everybody's, if you're on YouTube, you're familiar with Vlad TV. They call him a
Mm-hmm.
culture vulture, but he interviews a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vlad was on there with some, being facetious and smarmy about his questioning, right? And he questioned Michael Vick, like, hey, you gotta, even though one of his boys jammed him up, he said, but when you became wealthy, you brought all your friends. You brought all your friends. And Mike said, no, hold on. No, we all moved to Atlanta. I didn't bring them to Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, okay, is that a Portsmouth thing, right? They from Portsmouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because AI did the same thing. He said, whoa, 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 hold on. So you mean to tell me, and he used an example. He said, if I walked into a room and found $1 million and my friends were sitting outside,
He
you
said
mean to
$20
tell
million.
me, is it $20 million?
$20 million.
My friends are sitting outside. I shouldn't share with them? So you telling me I shouldn't share with them? So I'm just going to come out and keep this amount of money. I'm going to say this. I respected the shit out of that man for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's some cats who don't know how to be comfortable. You feel what I'm saying? So it's up to us to sift through them. But the thing about it is, this white guy was like, hell, what you taking care of them for?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what he was insinuating. Why?
Exactly what
Why
he
would you
said.
take care of them? And what it did was show that his answer showed the heart of, because he's a generation Xer too, showed the
Yeah.
heart of the whole situation. Like, yo, if I come up, of course I'm gonna bring my people.
Yeah.
As many people as I can. Now it may not work out all the
You
way.
got you got to be smart in that situation too, though, bro. Go ahead and
I
finish your
mean,
point.
but
Yeah,
but that's the whole point though, dog.
this the thing.
You can help somebody, right? But what they do with the help and them being grown people is on them. As long as the shit don't really blow back on them. You feel me?
I don't know
But
if you got.
oh, sorry.
I don't. Just real quick. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a writer named Chester Himes, but he wrote a
Yeah,
book called he wrote a book called Devil in the Blue Dress,
yeah.
Yeah.
and the main character's name was Easy Rollins, right? Who was Easy Rollins' best friend?
Um, grew up with him in
In Texas?
Yeah,
Texas.
my man's
Mouse.
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 And Mouse
Mouse.
was a homicidal maniac.
Mouse was a stone killer,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was Easy's man. That was his boy.
yeah.
So Mouse was his responsibility.
And he told Mouse, I can't do it. He drew a line with Mouse
He did, but
and he left. But I get
he
your
tried
point.
to look out for him.
I get your
He
point.
tried to look out for him.
I get your
After
point.
he killed about 3-4 people.
Yeah, but he didn't
But
kill two,
look,
three.
look, look,
You know he
It
didn't
ain't
kill
his
two,
life.
three people for him.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing, though, man. Here's my understanding, man. We all know, man, on a realistic level, we all know who we grew up with. Everybody wasn't our friend, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Some people just went along for the ride, man. Some people
Mm-hmm.
try to take advantage of the situation. Matter of fact, they latched on to you because they saw your star rising. You know, you have to have the wherewithal to understand who is really down for you. So who is really your friend? Now, when I think about my friends in the past, man, I can say about, I'm talking about from high school. I can say about 3 guys. Now, did I have associates that I was cool with? Absolutely. But
Mm-hmm.
those associates understood that I wasn't about that life they was about. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I was trying to go in a direction that they actually said to me, man, you ain't going away because you just like us. That was literally said to me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to come to an understanding. Whereas what Mike is talking about, that's a 1 or 2 time situation, man. You know what I'm saying? You look out for your
Well,
dogs and you hang out with them. It's a 1 time situation. But if you building a life, that can't be your life, man.
yeah, yeah,
But
you can't.
but he was 20,
Things he was.
he was 22 years old, first of
It
all.
still can't be your
And he
life,
had,
though.
no, but you're talking about it from a 58-year-old man. Of
No, I'm talking
course,
about it
it's
from.
logic. Bro, when I was 22, I took chances also with friends, the whole 9. You get what I'm saying? That's all. And I'm not making excuses, and you are making a valid point.
But
But my point is, I want us to really concentrate on what he said in response to it. And I want your guys' opinion about it. The loyalty that was that energy, that loyalty energy, Damon. That's what I want you to comment on, because I know you
The
have it.
loyalty and the energy, man, is what a person needs, especially in whatever trials and tribulations they're going through. You know what I'm saying? If you got somebody that you feel that supports you while you going through your situation, while you trying to, up your game, you know what I'm saying? You feel some reaction to that. But by the same token, when you go, here's the thing that when you sent me the question, the one thing that came through my mind is when I was going through my trials and tribulations, I was trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? The situation was there was very few people that believed in me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I had my dogs with me, there was very few people believed in me. And when I was trying to separate myself from a situation where I needed to focus on myself, my betterment, a lot of cats was like, "Come on, dog, you ain't that." Now, what if I believed what they were saying? You know what I'm saying? I would have never progressed. I would have never moved forward. You know what I'm saying? So that you have to have the wherewithal, man, and understand it. And that comes with your elders and the people that you trust giving you guidance, man. Yes, it is noble for Michael Vick to say, "Man, I'm gonna look out for my dogs. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna look out for my boys." But then, but in that comes a lot of consequences, man. It
He
comes a
was
lot of
immature,
consequences.
very immature.
Okay,
He was
look,
immature. He found wealth all of a sudden. It fell in his lap because of his skills. I agree with that. But he knew how to deal with it.
but the
It wasn't
background, the
prepared.
background is this. The background is this. Now, how the whole thing came into light is because one of his friends, who wasn't really living, he was part time in the house, but he was hustling, and he got caught up on the drug charge. He said, "Hey, I'll give you Michael Vick because he allowing people on his grounds to fight dogs."
On his farm. Yep.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It had nothing to do with him trying to, and it's the selfishness of a human being, because if he's not, he made a decision to hustle, and he wasn't good at it, first and foremost. But he made a decision to hustle. You know what I mean? So, DJ,
Yep.
what do you think about it?
I just think that man, look, I'm not gonna have no sympathy for what Michael Vick did. I think you innately we talk about self-esteem. You know that as a college quarterback at Virginia Tech University, you won a national championship, I think, in was it 99, 2000, one of them.
Runner up. He was a runner up, man.
Stock is
Runner up.
rising, you all that. Why in the hell are you gonna even allow yourself to get in that situation? I'm cool with you helping your homeboys. If you want to buy them a house, get them an apartment, but then how you gonna come in the criminal aspect of it, enterprising what he did, and then say, blah 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 blah. He was completely wrong, and he paid the price for it. Okay, because what he was doing to them animals, man, was just unimaginable, cruel beyond belief. Shoot them up with drugs and fighting them, and the dogs that wouldn't fight, he'd kill them and shoot them in the head, and throw them in there and get them mauled and then bury them. There's no win in that. But Keith, what I will say was, where was those so-called black men older that had self-esteem, didn't pull them aside and say, "Hey man, you're gonna lose everything." Was it an uncle, an aunt, a coach, a friend, a mama, whoever? Where was all them friends had to have had somebody that he
Okay,
was bringing along with him and say, "Hey man, this is not gonna work."
DJ, I'm gonna tell you, and Keith, you can speak on this because we'll go to you next. But DJ, North Carolina and Virginia is a dog fighting. They're dog fighting communities.
And
And
cocks. And cocks. Chickens and yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
what we see, and I agree with you, what we see that's done to those dogs is horrible, but it is the norm in those communities. So what do you think, Keith?
Uh, well, first of all, the first thing I want to say is that in Virginia, the state of Virginia, dog fighting is a misdemeanor, was a misdemeanor. So that would have been a fine. That would just have been a fine for him. He'd have still been playing. He could have paid that out of his pocket. He could have emailed that to him, the money, cash, What he was, Michael Vick went to prison because whoever they talked to, they asked him, is he gambling? What are y'all betting on the dogs on the fights? Yeah. So okay, is he gambling? Yeah, he's betting on the dogs too. Then the money, when they found out how big the bets were and everything, then that money they said, okay, this is the money. You hadn't paid taxes on this money.
So
So
the
he
Rico
was in
state, the
federal prison.
Rico.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he went to prison for. Everybody was talking about the dogs. The dog, he didn't get a charge for the dog. That was
Yeah.
misdemeanor.
Yeah. He was
So
bankrolling the enterprise
yeah,
for
so
the crime.
This is
yeah,
what they were saying, and he got caught out there because he was denying it the whole time. But he had too many people saying that he, you know what I mean? Because he, in his documentary, because I watched it, he said, I should have listened to my lawyers. He said, but I thought I was bigger.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's
And the
what it.
thing, and then I didn't want to, just, and your answer, your answers was good, man. So it wasn't like I was just searching for something on what he said, and really and truly, you do want people that you grow up with. If you get put in that situation, like Damon, you couldn't take care of nobody, so of course you're going to look at it a certain way because you need to survive. You need to do what you need to do, right? That's why I put it in there, the $20 million, and what would you do? You see what I'm saying? Because really and truly, it's common sense that's attached to that. I would hope it'd be common sense to be attached to that. You know what I'm saying?
$20
It's just
million
how it is.
dollars. If
No,
you
I'm talking
find
about.
$20 million,
No, I'm talking.
Wow.
I'm worried about
Woo.
everybody.
Listen. What I'm
Hey,
saying to you.
come on.
Common sense when it comes to uh, common sense when it comes to who the hell you got riding with you. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? Because if you
I
hanging out
think
with a crew, you know who the. Well, hold on. Jaquari, did you get a chance to answer?
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody get a chance to answer?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, at first I was just explaining how much. I mean, what he actually got arrested for.
So you never
Just
got a chance to
yeah,
answer the question.
quickly.
Yeah,
I guess.
go ahead, man.
Yeah. My answer, the short answer, yes. I would help them. I'd help my friends, but I wouldn't try to, like the question said, save them. I wouldn't try to just save them alone. Like just, hey, here's some money. Here's a few million. And without the reason I'm saying this for this reason, they'd have to be. I want them to be willing to put in some work to learn how to manage it. Because
Gotcha.
me just handing you $1 million and you don't know how to manage your paycheck from the week. I mean, it's not. That's me and you both wasting money. So I would want to give them the opportunity to learn. They have to show me that they're going to manage it, learn to manage it, so they can stay up. Also, well, that's pretty much it. I would help them, definitely, no problem. But if I'm going to throw out, you said 20 million. So if I'm throwing that kind of money out, I mean, if I'm handing them out $2 million apiece,
No, hell no. That ain't
something
what I'm
like
talking about, Keith. I'm
yeah,
talking
something
about
like that.
bringing them with you. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
I mean,
bringing them to. I'm not talking about
Bringing them
giving them
along
no
and
loot.
living and all that.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean.
it's
Let them see
caveats to that
something
shit,
different.
man.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
If you
That's what
Let
I'm
go,
saying. But
something
if you
different.
go into a building and you find $20 million, the first thing you're gonna think about is how to get the hell out of that building.
oh, absolutely. That's the only mission I got.
How you gonna get out of that building, man, without somebody
I
getting
ain't going on.
inspired by taking it from you, man?
Man, hopefully the dudes you coming with, man, is thorough enough that you got at least 2 or 3 of them that's gonna help you get the hell up out of there, man.
Yeah,
Shit,
you know that's what I'm saying.
man.
But this,
Oh shit.
yeah. So I would definitely help them, but say, hey, man, look,
Okay.
Hey, look,
Yeah,
look.
you
And
go. Hey,
I
you
want,
go to your boy and you
Hey,
say,
hey, look,
y'all know
you go to
there's
your, hey,
cameras. There's cameras
you go to
somewhere.
your
Look
boy.
at
look.
You go to your
I
boy and
wouldn't
you
say
say, I found $20 million. I need to get
no,
out of here.
man.
You gonna say, I need half that, bro.
Look.
yeah,
Look, all I'm gonna do is I ain't gonna say a word. I know where it's at. I know where it's at. And like, yo, man, let's get up out of here. I'm gonna come back and get it. Then I'm gonna share it, my experience with them. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't like,
Yeah.
yo, unless I'm a real boss where my
Hey,
guys is
because
afraid of me. You feel me?
your
mhm.
dogs might peel your cap, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So
come up missing.
All right,
yeah,
well, look, did everybody get a chance to answer?
yes,
Okay. All right, we're gonna go to last words. Um, and then we're gonna take it on home, guys. DJ, last
Yep.
words for the night, brother.
Okay. Uh I'm just going. You just want us to surmise it, right? So
Whatever's on your mind, DJ. This your last words. You
I want to
look,
go back. I want to go back to this thing about self-esteem, and
gotcha.
that worries me because do our young folks have that, or even know what it means? I'm talking about young folks at the HBCUs, at work, in the military, wherever they are, law enforcement. Do young black men and women really know what that means? And are they laying the bricks, continuously laying the bricks that we did so that it becomes a better future for our race? And I don't want to sound racist, but damn it, it is what it is. Um, I mean, I just try to be an example of right and wrong. Was my way the right way? Shoot, that's subjective. But ain't one person can ever in this world I've ever met in all these years can say I did them wrong, not knowingly. Did the best I could. I never cheated you. I never lied to you. I never took anything from you. If I hurt anybody, I hurt myself. If I arrested you, it's because you did something wrong and I took your ass to jail. Yeah. He, she, them, it, whatever, didn't matter. If I talk to you and I might not always was nice, well then, and so be it. I apologize for that many years later because of course I've tempered my sword a little bit. My years in the military, if I did things wrong, then I learned from that and I carried on with it. I just want to say that I hope that I can continue to be an example. And I pray every day that our young black men walking in this world from the age of 15 to 30 can see and understand it's important to vote. It's important to get your education. It's important to treat each other with respect because, man, it can be rough. Ain't nobody giving us nothing. If anything, ain't gonna take it away from us. It's happening right before our very eyes. So that's my biggest thing. I just want, man, the folks just to kind of ground themselves and better themselves and go forward.
Okay. Keith, last words, brother.
yes. Well, first of all, as always, I want to say it's been an honor. I appreciate you all inviting me up here. Again, um, actually, I didn't think I was going to be able to make it, but when you first and asked me, and then I said, well, no, I'm gonna do that. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm gonna be on the podcast. So the other thing they'll be all right.
Appreciate you being here, bro.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
Hey,
They can watch the podcast. As I told them, I said, "Well, watch the podcast." So I
so
told
you
them,
sacrificed my guy. I got you.
yeah. I said I already got an obligation. So
I just want you to know that.
yeah. So but yeah, man, these are some powerful topics, man. Some really important things that you came up with, and I'm just glad you let me be a part of this one because I really enjoyed it. And I also want to say that I didn't say earlier. I think a lot of times in this day and age now, they confuse people that are feeling entitled with having high self-esteem. They're using high self-esteem in the wrong in the wrong context. They call him he's got high self-esteem. No, he's an entitled spoiled brat. That's who that is.
Yeah.
He thinks he deserved a reward because he showed up. He don't want to put the work in. And and the way you can tell is because you're offended when you don't get a trophy or you don't, you can't come in and be the damn CEO.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, man. As always, y'all are awesome, man.
Man, we appreciate both of y'all, man. That's real.
Yeah, thank you for real.
Yeah. Jaquari, last words, brother.
Gentlemen, it's precious. Commodity is time is, man. I'm honored to been able to spend my time in conversation with four very grounded and learned men. I appreciate it. I look forward to the next. Y'all be safe.
Damon, bring us on home, brother.
I think, man, just to be honest with you, brothers, man, a lot of this conversation, this night, I've been kind of tongue in cheek, respectfully, but the questions that were presented in front of me, man, made me think. And what I mean by that is that I can be tongue in cheek about certain things, but the things that matter to me mostly, man, is that I'm 58 years old, man, and I understand how to navigate this world, man. But as I see the world, man, a lot of things are disturbing to me, and some things I don't understand as a Gen X. But I have a grandbaby. We're talking about generations down the line, and I'm thinking, how do I present myself in a situation where she can understand how to navigate also? You know, um, when you think about how to survive in this world, man, the one thing that the one conclusion that I come to is that as African Americans, I prefer black men and women. We're not together. We're not as one. You know what I'm saying? So we're relegated to navigating, man. Even though we might feel in the background that that's not a real existence because that can be snatched away from you at any time. Where do you find that ground, man, where you feel confident that you as a people is going to survive any situation? You know what I'm saying? And prosper and grow and be stronger and continue to be that beacon of the world that changes everything. We as African Americans, we change the world. The world follow us.
Facts.
Literally.
But at the same time, we are that people that they try to take away rights. They try to show in a bad light. You know what I'm saying? So it's a constant battle. You know what I'm saying? Where do we as a people not get tired is what I'm saying. You know what I'm at the point at 58 years old, and I'm like, man, do I just focus on mine and hope that we get through? Hope that mine survive? Or do I try to figure out how to convince people that look like me who go through the same experiences that I do that we need to coalesce, come together and build a coalition and try to make real changes within ourselves. Are we a part of this thing called America? with all the enable rights and all that shit? Are we that, or do we continue to keep fighting and striving to change the narrative, man? You know what I'm saying? To change the narrative, because at 58 years old, as a Gen X, I am disillusioned, man, because it's certain, I can see other people over here where people are in uproar and marching and doing whatever, whereas we over here, a young black man gets shot through his door, just answering the joint.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Are we considered first class? You know what I'm saying? And when do we support other groups and plus bolster our rights also? How do we do the two things at one time? You know what I'm saying? How do we do it, man? And my fear is, I think, man, my fear is, our rights are going to continue to be taken away. We're going to continue to be marginalized and all that stuff. And that's where we are. And that is not a place, that is not a healthy place for us to be. It's not. It's not a healthy place for us to be. You know what I'm saying? So do we continue to be that beacon of the world and be an example where, situations, rights get made for other people, but you don't get it? We'll follow your example, but we still don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? How do you overcome that shit, man?
By respecting yourself and going against the grain, man.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have to act ourselves as a people.
Yeah, that's
Do
what I
we
mean.
stand?
That's what I mean. As a
We
people to do that.
right. We stand alone, man. We stand alone. You could say, I don't like this black man, or I think they are what do they call that? Victims.
Mm-hmm.
But over here, all you got to do is say, man, I don't understand. I don't believe in your policies in your country and how you conduct yourself. And that is the most racist thing, that these people who deny our shit, they say, them simply saying, because you don't believe in my policy, you you righteous in that, and the whole world is in an uproar. But just for simple civil rights, black man gets shot through his door at the wrong door. You know what I'm saying? And it's not fair, and it's not equal, and it's so stark, and it's so apparent. It's not the same thing, man. And you're not looked at as the same thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Speaking words, you willing to divest. Just being in a situation, you're not considered the same. You're a victim. Make that shit make sense to me, man.
I got you.
If that makes sense.
All right. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
It does.
for
All
sure.
right. Well, look, this is Strong Perspective Podcast. Our channel is steadily growing. We wanted to grow in leaps and bounds. You know what I'm saying? But hell, we'll take one or two at a time until we got the foundation for it to grow even larger. But I want to thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks for having us.
Always a great show
Appreciate it.
because we've been blessed enough to pick the right folks to come on here. And what I mean by right is you are actually talking about how you feel. That is golden. See what I'm saying? Where it's not that let me be politically correct. Let me sound a certain way. No, we having earnest conversations, and this is what we promote. And we're trying to become infectious with this so people can see it. You know what I mean? I don't think we're trying to teach anybody anything, but what we're doing is showing an example of how men and women can get together, have a conversation, and it's a meaningful conversation. But please go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Tell them to come and check us out because we doing big things. And look, it's a movement. Grassroots is a movement, baby. This is what we're doing. And we're going to let you go. This is Strong Perspective Podcast. Thank you, guys. And good night.
All right.